Okay, I've been making videos for a long time, well before YouTube ever existed. By the way, welcome to Home Studio Pro. And I want to pass this along. As you live stream or as you record something, as I'm doing right here and now, monitor your audio. Now, I'm not saying you need to have full-on headphones or cans like these. You can use some in-ear monitors, but whatever you choose to use, whatever you choose to put in your ears, make sure that you're actually listening to what you're recording while you're recording it. I see way too many people who are not doing this. And my analogy here is like this camera. Imagine trusting that the camera shot was just framed up. Now, here in my home studio, the camera, this desk, my seat, it never moves, so I know it is framed up. But imagine me just plopping it down saying, well, looks like it's pointed in this direction. I'll just trust the fact that I can see the lens, it can see me, and yeah, I'm perfectly framed. Like, this shot is exactly how I want it to be. How do I really know that unless I'm looking at it? I'm monitoring the video. So the same goes with audio, because a lot of times, and you're guilty of it, I have been too, we just trust the levels. Recording on our camera, we see the meters move. Oh yeah, it's recording. It hears us fine. Or my mixing desk here, it hears just fine. I see the levels bouncing up and down. Trusting the levels alone is just not good enough anymore. Are you overmodulating? Is there static in your signal? Is there RF interference if you're on a wireless kit? Are there clicks and pops? Is a microphone rubbing against your clothes? Is there some other tapping sound that's really annoying that you can't otherwise hear unless you're listening to your audio as you're recording it? What am I guarding against here? Why am I passing this along? Because I don't want you to redo your videos. I don't want you to feel like you nailed it and you just spent 30 minutes talking to the camera, spilling your heart out about something and really, presenting like you wanted it to. And then you import the clip and it looks good, the video looks fine, and then you listen to it and go, huh? What is that? That sounds terrible. The mic wasn't plugged in or was problems, right? I do not want you to have to redo an entire video. I also, that was an edited scenario. Imagine if you're live streaming. There's no going back and fixing that. Your audience can see you perfectly, but if your audio is terrible, that is the number one reason why people will tune out. The audio sounds like garbage. People will put up actually with bad video or even video issues, but when they can't hear you properly, that is an instant tune out. So I want to guard against you having a train wreck style live stream. What are we listening for? Like what am I talking about? Why do I wear full headphones here? I'm listening for proper levels. I'm also listening for a proper mix, right? If I do choose to play sound effects here, I want the sound effects to sit just a little bit lower than my voice typically, right? I don't want the music to overwhelm what I'm saying. I want it to sit right under there. So proper levels overall. I don't want to peak or overmodulate or clip, or I don't want to be too low where people are cranking their volume all the way up and still can't hear. Again, RF interference, if I was using a wireless kit, is there scratchiness? Is there somebody else stepping on me? This is a common issue, and especially these days when a lot of the wireless kits are going to the Wi-Fi frequencies of 2.4 gigs, and you just never know if you're actually being recorded properly. It also helps if you're in a podcast situation. I'm talking about all content creation here, not just me here in the home studio into this microphone. What if I was in a larger setting and three of my friends who are not, regulars at recording and talking into a mic, how do I know that they're staying on mic, right? I want them to be able to be heard as well as I am. So I can only hear this if I'm listening in real time. Because if all of a sudden one of my guests puts the mic over here and starts talking like this, and we weren't paying attention, I didn't notice until now, but now I really noticed that I should have been listening as I was recording. So these are all reasons to monitor your audio. Dead batteries. Again, mostly going back to the wireless side of things, but if you have a power issue and then all of a sudden halfway through your recording, it looked good when you started it, like, oh yeah, levels look fine when I started this video, but they don't persist throughout it. I mean, look, I'm here in the home studio right now on my multi-view screen looking at the levels as I'm recording this, as I can also hear it too. Acoustics are also important. Like if you're recording somewhere for the first time, you go into like a hallway or somewhere cavernous and it's all this kind of sounds like this. Like you'd want to know, right? If this is how the audio is sounding as you were recording it. You probably would stop your video and say, guys, let's let's bring it in somewhere that sounds more like this. Right? You got to listen to the audio. You cannot just look at the levels. I find, now as we get into some advanced topics here, I find that it gives the performer confidence to hear the audio as you're talking. Think about anybody who works as a radio broadcaster. And even in television, we wear small earpieces. But in radio, there's a reason they're all wearing professional caliber headphones. It's so that you as a performer can have confidence. You can work the mic if you have to. Coming up next on Slow Jams at 9 o'clock, I'll play all your favorite hits. Does anybody listen to Slow Jams late at night anymore? But like, I know, right? I have literal confidence that I'm working the mic properly and correctly. Or if I'm yelling, I know you can still hear me, but it's just not as loud because I've backed off the mic a little bit. Also with effects and EQ, I mean, there's another problem. Let's say I'm here in the home studio and I accidentally, slid this up, or on my elbow hit that. And I started the video, it sounded like this. But by the end of the video, I didn't realize that my elbow hit that, and now the rest of the video is going to have this effect on it. Or just overall the EQ or whatever compression you have on it, you want to know, how is this sounding as I'm actually doing it? I don't understand, honestly, how anybody can perform with any confidence. Like me taking, headset hair, me taking the headphones off right now, I feel terrible, I feel naked, I feel awkward. I know I'm fine because this is the distance I normally, talk from, and I've sat here and done this for thousands of hours. But even right now, it feels weird. And it's not just because I, can't hear myself through my ears. It's because I'm wondering, is everything going okay? I put on the headphones and I know we're back. So monitor your audio. From me to you, save yourself. Do this instantly. Find the technology also that allows you to do this. I understand that if you have a simple YouTube setup or content creation setup, you might just have the microphone that goes into the camera and that's all you've got. Maybe consider using an audio interface, consider using an audio mixer. Those are two things that will let you hear yourself in real time as the way it's being recorded and going into your camera or recording device. So those might be things that you need, that if you don't have them, but if you have the option to do it, monitor your audio. Trust me. After a couple decades, trust me. If this video provided you value, consider giving it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. Also, subscribe to this channel. I've got lots more great stuff coming out very soon.